2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Belmont or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Hey, podcaster. Well, tonight we asked, have you been kicked out of a country? And some of the stories were, very problematic. Liam did a very nice skit about a pram. Plus, we also guessed if people were cops or not. And we talked fetishes. Enjoy.
Previously on Ben, Liam and Bell.
No one's stealing a Fiat.
You wouldn't steal a Fiat. Kind of lame, right? You know?
So I think our social guy Jack, does he drive a Fiat?
He does too, doesn't he? Sorry about that.
And now, live across Australia, this is Ben, Liam and Bell.
You don't lock it, is that true? Yeah, it's just the doors are always open.
There's no threat of that car getting stolen.
Never had any issues. He leaves the keys in the ignition.
Good evening, Australia. 13 24 10 is our number here at Nova, and we'd love for you to give us a buzz. Have you or do you know someone who's been kicked out of a country? If you have, if you know someone, 13 24 10, because an American tourist here in Australia has caused outrage after she was filmed by her friend taking a baby wombat from its mum in the Australian outback.
Just caught a baby wombat. Look at the mother. It's like, oh, it's chasing after her.
I got a baby wombat.
Rightly so, she's an idiot. Everyone's calling for her to be kicked out of the country.
Especially when the guy's like, oh, look at the mother. Because it's like, it's so sad. I was seeing the mum, chase after its baby.
Yeah, you can hear it hissing. It's clearly in distress, and you guys know how I feel about it, and she should absolutely be fined and absolutely kicked out of the country.
Well, the little wombat would be scared shitless or squared shitless.
It's a good wombat gag if you know.
Guys, they do square poos, if you didn't know.
And you know why they do square poos?
Was it their diet?
To mark their territory, so that way they like little blocks so they don't roll away. So they like, this is my corner of the outback.
A lot smarter. I was going to say because they have square buttholes, but
Gosh.
Interesting.
All right, 13 24 10 is our number. We want to know, have you been kicked out of a country? 13 24 10. Dan joins us now. Have you been kicked out of a country?
Well, technically I was kicked out. I was rejected entering the US from Canada. So I was over there for business. I was in Canada and I was with my boss, and we had some business samples of some products we were selling to some American customers.
Yeah.
And
can you just say what it is? Because it sounds like it's going to be methamphetamine at the moment. What was it? What were the samples?
Power tools. So I had some drills and cordless grinders and things like that. Power tools. We were selling to some hardware companies over there. So we'd crossed the border there near Niagara Falls. We get to the border. They ask for the paperwork. I look at him and he sort of like takes a step back with his gun and like, can I have a look at the back of the vehicle? And we're like, oh, here we go. And he asked me to step out of the vehicle. I'm like, can they get really serious and really heavy all of a sudden? So I decided to throw my boss under the bus. I said, mate, really sorry. I just work for him. I'm just an employee. He owns the company. He's the one with the paperwork. And next thing they changed, they put me aside and marched him off for an hour for discussions. And,
did you still have a job after that?
I did.
You had a job, but just no respect.
So did you end up...
they kicked us out.
Oh, so you didn't end up getting into the country. They kicked you out completely.
They turned us around. We had to go back to Canada and think about it, get some better paperwork and try another day.
Turned you around and said, go think about it and then come back.
Yeah, right. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Nick in Sydney, you got kicked out of country.
Yeah, I got kicked out of Vietnam.
Oh, Vietnam. Oh, man. They're so cool over there. What happened? What did you do?
When I was 18, I went on a solo trip to Vietnam and my visa didn't get processed before my flight. So I looked up what a visa looks like and I forged one. And
Dude.
That is the worst thing you can do, Nick.
Yeah, I know. It was, in hindsight, not a good idea.
Did you say, sorry, Nick, did you say you got through, like briefly, or what happened?
Yeah, I got through with Jetstar on the Sydney end, and then when I got there, they looked up the number, and obviously nothing came up.
And it was written in red crayon.
Yeah.
Nick, do you remember the footballer Ronaldinho used to play for Barcelona back in the day? He was sort of the GOAT before Messi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did the same thing as you, and he got arrested and was in a Paraguayan prison for a while. He was like literally one of the most famous people in the world, and he forged his own visa document. It's such a weird story, but it did happen.
That's a crazy thing to do, Nick, and we appreciate you sharing. Tracy joins us in Melbourne. You got kicked out of a country.
Yes, I did. Australia.
Oh, hang on. So are you in Australia now, though? You're calling us?
I'm calling from Australia.
You snuck back in.
No, I didn't sneak back in. I was kicked out for being on a British passport.
Right.
And so I went back to New Zealand and became a New Zealander and came back in.
The old become a citizen in 3 countries to become a citizen in 1.
Sneaky, Tracy.
I like it, Trace. Well, you're back. A lot of these just like document related so far. Like no one's really done anything super crazy. John, did your father-in-law do something crazy to get kicked out of the country?
I wouldn't say it was crazy, but my father-in-law and mother-in-law owned a bar in Philippines, and he was defending some girls. Some guys were hassling them, and he ended up beating up the guy who ended up being like the son of a diplomat or whatever.
Yeah,
classic. And then he got kicked out. This happened 40-odd years ago.
Oh, yeah, right. And then it was kicked out.
Yeah, okay, that'll do it.
And that's the thing. Before I beat guys up in bar, I normally ask what their parents do for work. It's always good to be safe, you know what I mean?
Mick in Melbourne, good evening. You got kicked out of a country.
Actually, technically, I got kicked back into the country.
Right. So how did that work?
Me and a mate, 3 months in, Cape Town to Nairobi. Mate's birthday, too many absolute vodka shots, heading back to France on a French Airlines flight. Very happy, very loud Australian. Basically ended up having the pilot come with 2 big blokes, M16s, camouflage gear and drag, just kicking and screaming off the plane.
Whoa.
And kicked us back into the country, thinking we're about to go to a Nairobi jail.
Oh, and how was Nairobi prison, Mick? Was that nice?
No. Strangely enough, $50 US got us out of trouble.
Oh, okay. Well,
so you bribed them.
Yeah, that's good to know. $15 US if you ever want to break out of Nairobi prison.
You also, Mick, and I mean this in a positive way, you sound like the kind of guy where if you had a couple of absolute vodkas, you'd get pretty rowdy.
I reckon, I'm assuming you're sober now, just coming home from work, Mick, and you still sound like a rowdy guy. You're having some fun with us and we're enjoying it.
You know what, Mick? We're going to pay for your dinner tonight. You got yourself a $50 GYG voucher.
You guys are such legends. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate.
No worries,
Enjoy GYG's new street corn. It's the must-have side, only $3.50 at Guzmani Gomez.
You're listening to Young Kings, Ben and Liam. Oh, yeah, Belle's there too.
Have you always wanted a Lamborghini, but you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, if you've got $8,000 in your back pocket, well, you're in luck because Italian supercar makers, Lamborghini, have launched a pram.
A pram?
A pram! So if you have a young child, baby, you can now buy this very real pram. It's like top-of-the-line sports car pram.
Better than an upper baby?
Apparently. How much do they set you back?
A couple $100. Well,
this is $8,000. This is like the highest level of pram.
Just gonna get banana all over it.
Yeah. Well, look,
Yeah.
after the success of the Lamborghini baby stroller, more automobile companies have jumped onto the trend.
Does your baby love the smell of burnt rubber as much as they love mother's milk? Well, rush in now to buy the all-new Holden Commodore pram for bogan babies.
Oh, sick pram, bro. You got stockies on that? Oh, yeah, nice. Do a burnout, you little mad dog. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. His mullet blown in the wind. Bless.
And for off-road bubs, the Jeep Baby Carriage. A rugged yet refined stroller that offers exceptional off-road capability combined with modern comfort and technology.
Oh my God, should you be pushing that pram next to a cliff face?
Give it a rest, lady. This is a Pram Cherokee with advanced 4x4 systems, high ground clearance, and 3-ton towing power. I think little Oscar here is ready for whatever adventure awaits. Isn't that right, mate? And finally, for street racing babies who live their life a quarter mile at a time, the Subaru Impreza WRX stroller. Drift into Kindy with a turbocharger, intercooler, high-flow exhaust system and a custom ECU tune to maximise horsepower. Hey, what are you driving there, bud?
Oh, it's a Jules from Baby...
You don't even have a short shift or a coil-over suspension. What a loser. Rush in to buy your pram today. If you're not first, you're last.
You like that feeling in your ear holes? That's the Ben, Liam and Bell podcast.
I can't believe this story. A New York police officer has been let go because she was caught twerking in a music video.
Shorty love the track, but she love the pole. Make that clap, make it drop and roll.
This is the actual song?
Yeah. So it's by Esquire, S-Choir.
And we've watched the video and it was all for research.
Mm-hmm.
So if my wife says my internet history or whatever, it was for the show.
Well, it is pretty, when you say she was removed from duty because she was twerking, it's not like she was drunk at a pub and she was twerking. Like, it's pretty revealing.
Yeah, because you see the headline, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it's her and like 20 other girls in a club and she's just in there in the background. But it's just her
Very much
by
just
herself
her, yeah.
on a stage and the camera's right up there. You see it all.
Mhm.
She's given it all. And I still think it's a bit unfair, but they have let her go.
Yeah, I know. But she swore an oath to serve, protect, and make that ass clap. And she did all of those things. But she's not been fired. She's just been like removed from. I suppose she's been. Yeah.
She's been taken off all the cases. So I think
Yeah,
it's kind of like they've taken her off and they're probably going to have a chat and then.
Yeah,
it's not
okay,
looking
it's
good.
probably not great. I mean, what do you do? Do you flag it? Do you just say, "Hey, I'm just going to be in this rap like music clip sort of thing"? Like,
Well-
you got to run it up.
Apparently she was supposed to. That's
Yeah, so
part of the problem.
That's
Yes.
the problem. She's doing a bit of work on the side. You got to sort of flag that stuff.
She probably thought she'd get away with it. Looking at the music video, there's no way you'd watch it and go, she's a cop, 100%.
Oh,
Like-
nah, you can always pick cops.
No, you can't.
When she was twerking in the rap video, you're like, "That's a cop. That's an undercover cop."
You could tell that was an undercover cop.
I mean, sometimes you can tell that it's like a it's a cop when they come up to your music festival and they're wearing like a Rick and Morty t-shirt and like cargo pants and they're like, "Do you have any ecstasy tablets?" That's when you sort of can tell. Well, should we do that this evening? 13 24 10. If you're a cop or if you're not a cop, you call up. We just have a bit of a chat and then we try and pick if you're a cop or not.
Yeah. So every single caller is going to be undercover.
Okay, I like that.
Maybe you're a real cop and you're undercover. Maybe you're just somebody and you're not a cop. If you want to try and trick us, we'd love for you to get involved. 13 24 10.
This is good. So we are going to need some. If you're just listening and you're like, I'm not, I'm just like, whatever.
Yep.
I'm a nurse. That's fine. But we do need some people to trick us. So if you are not a police officer and you'd like to trick us, 13 24 10, and we do need some cops as well. So if you're in law enforcement, 13 24 10, Ben, myself, and Belle are going to try and see if we can sniff you out.
That's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast.
Tyson joins us now in Melbourne. We're trying to suss out if you're a cop or not. How was your day, Tyson?
Yeah, good. Pretty busy, mate.
Nice. And how do you feel about crime?
They're all right. Some people are good. Some people are bad. You never know what you deal with,
I think you've just outed yourself as a cop, like straight away, Tyson. You're a cop. You're terrible at this game. You're a police officer, right?
He's really good.
Tyson, you're a cop, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you just like, dude, you can never go undercover. Please, just stay in uniform because, and like, we're just nice people on the radio. We're just having fun. I threw some light questioning at you and you crumbled straight away. But if I was like, if you were like supposed to go deep undercover trying to like burst this sort of bikie operation or something, you'd be a goner, Tyson. You'd be an absolute goner. You seem like a sweet guy, but that information just came out way too easily.
Immediate fail.
Immediate. He's like, yeah, no, they're good. And some people are like, what?
It's like you had your badge on your belt still.
Literally. It's like you came in like with a tracksuit and you're like, "Hey guys, the name's Spike. I'm new around here. Where can I buy some drugs?" And you left your radio on and they're like, "Alpha Bravo, Alpha." You're like, whoops.
Stop being so... Tyson, I think you did a great job. And if he wasn't a
Don't lie to
cop,
him.
that would have been really good if he wasn't. But he was.
He was. Let's talk to Jess. Hello, Jess.
Hey, mate. How are you?
Okay, yeah, certainly coming in a little bit more chill.
Jess, can I ask, what do you do for work?
I'm a copper.
Yep, no. Oh,
So-
wait. Oh, now I'm confused.
Yeah, so you're a cop, aren't you? You're an actual cop?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
work
yeah.
at the highway patrol.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are people understanding the game? So we're trying to like see if we can sniff out the cop.
So I was hoping you were like, I work at like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
whatever.
We
It's a
thought
side
you were going
hustle.
to try and trick us, unless of course you do work at a 7-Eleven and you're pretending to be a cop. But can I just confirm, Jess, you're an actual cop? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Cool. Okay. all
Highway
right.
patrol seems fun too.
So far we're 2 for 2. For
A lot of cops.
Picking the cops.
A lot of cops. We picked a lot of cops here. Okay, let's meet Kane. Hello, Kane.
How you going?
Yeah, cool. You seem cool. And Kane seems like a real citizen name. Citizen Kane. How do you feel about bongs?
Sorry, what was that?
Bongs. Partial to them?
Bongs.
Yeah.
Water pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're illegal.
Cop. Definitely cop. Definitely cop. Kane, you're a cop. Cop. You a cop?
Are you a cop, Kane?
Are you asking me if I'm a
Yeah,
cop?
yeah. The bit's done
we
now.
were saying you're a cop, yeah.
No, I'm not.
Whoa!
Oh, okay. What do you do for work, Kane?
I run a property development business.
Bloody got us! And you sound very cop-like. You sound like more of a cop than the last two cops. But yeah, you've actually pulled one over us there.
Let's see if we can end it on a good note. Let's go one more. Brad in Melbourne. You want to do some drugs?
No.
Okay, and do you ever speed?
No.
Just a little bit?
Nope.
Okay, what about Navy? Do you wear a lot of it?
No.
If you've got shorts on right now, how long are your shorts?
Just above my knees.
Oh, that's short.
Yeah, right. And so what do you do for work, Brad?
A chef.
We're going to go cop?
It's exactly what an undercover cop would say. I reckon you're a cop.
Yep.
Yeah. We got him. I mean, that's a pretty good strike rate.
Yeah.
Like, we picked 4 out of 5 cops there.
Not bad, Brad. Thank you very much. We are going to pay for your dinner tonight. You got some Guzmani Gomez on us?
Oh, thank you very much.
Hey, Brad, do you ever take the patrol car through the drive-through?
Sometimes.
And is it true, like at Macca's and stuff, you get a bit of a discount?
Yep.
Really?
That is cool.
I didn't know that.
That is cool. It's like you almost would do it to wear the uniform to... But then I suppose that is very illegal, impersonating a police officer just for like 20% off a cheeseburger. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. No.
Good on you, Brad. Have a great night.
If you put on our podcast as you go to sleep, this one's for you.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Northbridge or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Oi, stop gooning. The next bit's about to start.
We're about to be joined by a woman overseas who has run one of the largest brothels in Europe for the last 9 years. So you'd imagine she's got a good yarn or two. At the moment, she's going viral on TikTok and Instagram. A lot of her posts about running the establishment are popping up.
And to paint a picture of how big this brothel is, it's 100 rooms with 300 workers. Catherine, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Among these 300 workers, you've listed that some have specialties. What are these?
Well, it pretty much depends on the workers. So not everybody does full service. So we have workers, and some of them, they specialized in different types of the things. So some of them are more into BDSM type of the service. Then we have this girl. Then we have a girl and she really likes to do sex, but like not to be the one who's penetrated, but to be the one who basically penetrating others.
You definitely want to make sure you sign the right form, go into the right room before you find that out, huh?
few years ago, there were customer and he was like, I really want to experience. So there were two girls. They basically took him to the room, and like few minutes later, I saw him running away from the room, and I was like, "What happened? What happened?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, I wanted to experience, but I didn't know that I'm gonna be the one who will be penetrated."
yeah, bloody, you got him. Pulled the old Swifty on him. Yeah, I'm sure he's keen for that, but maybe not that.
Catherine, what about couples who come into the brothel together?
Well, with the wives and husbands. So there were a pair, and they came in, and she was like, I want to speak with the manager. So I took them to this VIP area, and I sat down with them, and I was like, okay, so what can I do for you? And she was like, I would really like to rent here some room because we have this fantasy, me and my husband, that I will be like a dirty and he will pay for me. She looked like a nun. He looked like and they were like very shy. And then she told me like this sentence, and I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, we can do that if this is your fantasy.
Surely that's one of the more interesting requests you've had.
We had a customer coming in and he just wanted to role play like a plumber. So he didn't do. So he took like a big bag with all the plumber tools that he needed.
Yeah.
And he basically spent like several hours just fixing the bathroom and the sink. He didn't do like nothing sexual, but he just wanted to be like a plumber to basically experience this fantasy, and he paid for it. So yeah,
Unbelievable.
Wow.
You would think that the fantasy would be he comes to the brothel, he does the plumbing, fixes the pipes, and then that leads to something else.
Well, yeah, how could I repay you? I don't have any money. Yeah, you would think that's where it's inevitably going. But so is there any other interesting fantasies that might not even be sexual necessarily, but you're just like, oh, okay. I mean, you've been doing this for 9 years, so I'm sure you've seen it all.
Once we had a customer and he came in with a polar bear costume because he really wanted to play the polar bear fantasy, like Eskimo fantasy. So he basically came in and it was like full polar bear costume. And we had this like security procedure that when you are walking in, we need to see your head because there are cameras.
Of course.
Yeah.
We actually needed him to take off the head of the polar bear. And I was standing in reception. I was like, what is going on here? Like, why are you in polar bear costume? And he was like, yeah, well, it's my fantasy because I want to play like a polar bear that's going to be hunted by Eskimo.
Wow.
Right.
And, okay.
I mean, it's...
Hey,
I mean, why not? Yeah.
Hey, look, as long as it's all safe, it's legal, they're a paying customer, whatever.
Well, Catherine, you're the manager of the largest legal brothel in Europe, and you certainly do have a lot of wild stories. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I hope I do.
Absolutely. And we love your content online, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
If you're listening to this podcast at 2 times speed, it's the Ben Liam and Bell podcast.
Catherine, we had a wild chat with her on Nova.
She is the manager of the biggest legal brothel in Europe, and she uncovered some fetishes that people have that they've come into the brothel with. An amazing one was that a guy came in dressed up as a polar bear and wanted to be hunted, and then some fun. Another person...
I don't even think there was fun involved.
I would have been sexual.
Well, the other one, the plumber, she said the guy didn't. He paid to come dressed as a plumber. He wasn't. Maybe he didn't pass trade school or something. He wanted to come as a plumber, just with his gear and just fix some pipes, and then that was it. And there was nothing. There was like they didn't even touch each other. He was like, "Sweet, that's the job done."
She said he was there for hours. He was there for hours fixing the plumbing.
It was like a really hard plumbing job. Was his fantasy.
Incredible. But look, who are we to what's the word? Yuck your yum.
Yuck your yum. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to yuck your yum. 13 24 10. We would like to open the lines now, and if you have a fetish that you're willing to share, of course you can stay anonymous, or if you've met someone in the past and they asked something of you or they shared something and you think that you'd like to share it with us tonight, we would love to hear it.
Imagine taking a guy home and then you get to the bedroom and he goes, just give me a minute, walks into the bedroom and walks into the toilet, comes out dressed as a polar bear.
Yeah, this is just my thing.
This is my thing.
But you know what? If that's your thing, like, you're not hurting anyone.
You'd run for the hills if you came out as a polar bear.
Like the full, the Bundaberg run polar bear. You'd be like, I'm getting killed. I'm out of here.
Well, I mean, yes, true. And Catherine did say the guy that came in, he also had the big head on as well. You couldn't even see his face. That's scary.
That's obviously like super extreme. So it doesn't have to be dressed up as a polar bear. But if you have got one, if you have had someone request one of you, 13 24 10 is our number.
Anonymous joins us now. Anonymous, what was your fetish?
I manage a parlour, and a guy called up wanting to do a Jeffrey Dahmer fantasy booking where he essentially wanted the girl to pretend to be dead.
Oh. Yeah, that's one you'd call the police about, right?
Technically, no, because nothing's actually illegal about that.
Yeah, right. And so did it go ahead?
It didn't, because he never came in.
Weird.
And it wasn't a prank call.
No, it wasn't a prank call at all. He was very serious.
Yeah, right.
It's just not. I mean, there's so many Netflix shows. It's not the one you want to be.
No, but then it does raise the question. It's like, is it good that he's getting it out of his system there?
Or is it kind of the
warm-up
gateway?
Yeah.
Jenny in Sydney, good evening. What was the fetish that they wanted to try?
My ex-partner wanted to dress up as a dog and suck my toes.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Just clarifying, dressing up as a dog and sucking your toes, you said?
Yes, that's right. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I never knew he was into that type of thing.
Yeah, and you said X. It didn't go down well after the whole Schmacko incident?
Yeah, because he kept wanting to do more stuff after that.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah. Fair enough. Well,
wow, that's
sounds
another
like
costume one.
Interesting one, yeah. It's hard to know what to do with all these calls, to be honest. It's
you are struggling.
Shay.
Well, no, because I know what he wants to do. He wants to make jokes.
I want to rip into people, but I think it's inappropriate.
Well, he's not. That's what you're seeing right now is a man who wants to make jokes, but he's also restraining himself.
What Ben's done is he's hit the nail on the head.
I am seeing a man in pain struggling.
Shay in Melbourne, there was a fetish they wanted to try?
Hi, how you going?
Good. What was the fetish?
I used to work in the industry, and I had two best mates come in for a booking together, and they had to and wanted to dress as Spider-Man and Superman. Full costume, masks, everything.
Hell yeah.
So they were your friends, you said, and then they came in together?
No, the guys, they were best mates. I had no clue who they were.
Sorry. And obviously, Superman would dominate in a situation like that. I mean, unless there was kryptonite in the room. I'm a Spider-Man guy myself, but I don't think he would last very long with Superman.
Do you know who won the fight between, or the session between Spider-Man and Superman?
In my opinion, it would have been the Spider-Man.
Yeah, interesting. The Amazing Spider-Man. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, right. Webb does win.
Different again if Batman was involved. A little bit darker. He's into the scary stuff.
And that's it!
Like that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam, and Bell.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Belmont or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.